Hey, what is good, everyone? See, I got my friend Cyrus Webb out there in the interwebs out there with me. Thanks for being on the show, man. Look, we're going to be talking today. I need to tell you about some marketing tips here. Super simple voiceover marketing tips. It's one of the things that people that now have their microphone. They've got a decent space set up inside of their home, even in their walk-in closets, right? They've got these spaces set up where they can actually do this thing. And it's time to get work, right? It's like when you look online, and one of the things that I see most of the time, there's a lot of things I see all the time, but how do I get work? What is it that I actually need to do to start getting work? And that's what we're going to get into on today. I'm so glad to be back, Ben. Yeah, I was out last week. I took a little trip over to Nashville, Tennessee, but yeah, glad to be back with you guys. And look, you guys here, you really want to go deep, you really want to dive deep, you got to check out where is it right here? Grindanddon'tquit.com. You got to check out grindanddon'tquit.com. Actually, I'm going to share some of that with you right now, because if you go over to www.grindanddon'tquit.com, this is what you're going to see. This is the community for steps to voiceover success. This is for the people that really want to get into some of the things that I'll be talking about today, but also dive even further deep into that. We've got 143 members on this site already. 143 voiceover artists that are really looking to start, build, and grow a successful voiceover business. If that's something that you are and want to be, then you got your gear and you're ready to go. You want to dive in over here. We've even got a classroom section where we've got a class, free course. This is all free, by the way. Everything you need to get started in voiceover. I've got this whole course set up here for you. Videos, PDF files, the whole 9 yards on this thing. We've got that. And obviously, we've got the Saturday AMA sessions. Look at all these AMA sessions we've been having since the middle of December. We've been going strong pretty much every Saturday. We have one coming up tomorrow. These are AMA sessions where you can ask me anything about voiceover, and we really dive deep. We spend about an hour and a half with each other on Zoom every Saturday and just start going through some things. And you can, it's heavy sometimes, but it is, by all indications, from everything that everyone is saying about these Zoom AMA sessions, ask me anything, everyone gets tremendous value from those. We've got one coming up tomorrow. If you look even on the calendar that's here, I clicked on the calendar tab. Right now, obviously, we're doing my live stream. Tomorrow, 1 p.m., we're going to be doing the AMA. You just click on the AMA, and then you click on the Zoom link. Boom, you are in there. This is a very good community that we've built up. And so you've got it right here, right up top here, is happening now, the weekly live stream podcast. I want you to go over to www.grindanddon'tquit.com. I want you to become a member of our community if you're at all serious about diving deeper into this thing called voiceover. What's up, world blessings? Happy Friday to you as well. Ben is saying hi to world blessings. Everybody's saying hello. Everybody just saying hello. World blessings. I love the AMA sessions on Saturday. We're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to be there. I missed last Saturday because I was in Nashville, but we're going to be back on tomorrow. She said it is so great to be able to ask Earl questions and learn from the group. That's probably one of the biggest, if you want to call it, selling points, or the biggest benefits and everything like that, is that we're actually able to talk. Whereas on live stream, all you can do is type at me. But in the AMA sessions that we have on Saturday at grindanddon'tquit.com, we're able to actually dive deeper. We're actually able to have a conversation and talk, because all of us are on camera, on Zoom, and we can have that interaction that we can't really have here on doing a live stream, like on the different platforms we're on right now. Not Instagram. I can't live stream on Instagram unless I go live. But no, we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, and we're on Twitter right now, broadcasting live. So give me a shout out. It looks like everybody's on YouTube, which is great, because that's my biggest platform ever in life. So shout out to my YouTube folks. Definitely appreciate you guys over here. Look, when we start getting into talking about simple voiceover marketing tips, it can go deep. I'm actually teaching a class right now. We've got a couple of more sessions to go. We've got a session coming up Sunday for everyone that purchased, got into the voiceover domination course that I started a couple of weeks ago, getting into the whole thing with social media, how to do social media marketing and things like that. But it seems like this week in particular for me, most of you that know that I've got my new Snap Studio, I'm sitting here looking at it over here, where I can actually go in, record in an appropriate space and stuff like that, as opposed to my wife's walk-in closet, which I would normally use. It's kind of junky right now, so glad I got the Snap Studio. But anyway, now that I have this, and I've actually started doing a lot more in the realm of not only voiceover, I've had one voiceover job come in this week, and just doing that and also looking to increase what it is that I do in the voiceover realm, because most of what I do is audio and video. That's mostly my bread and butter that I do every day is audio and video. But getting into voiceover and looking at, okay, what is it that actually a voiceover artist needs to do to actually start getting some more work in? What is it that they need to do to attract in clients? In the middle of 2022, and actually before then, I can go all the way back to 2020. It became very evident that social media is a very big part for the success of most entrepreneurs. It's the thing, and here's the thing about this, it is the thing that all of us have access to for free that most of us don't utilize in the way as effectively as we could to generate business, to be seen as an authority in our field, to get clients, everything. Social media now in 2023, at the recording time of this live stream that I'm doing right now, in 2023, social media is our gateway. And it is becoming more and more evident that that is the thing that we need to start paying more attention to. Now, I say this kind of guardedly because I know from firsthand experience how hard it is to do this as a voiceover artist. One, you have to come up and develop the topic that you're going to talk about on social media. Well, actually, the first thing you have to discover is, what is your niche? Who is it that you actually want to talk to in this whole regard as a voiceover artist in order to get voiceover work from them? What are the things that need to be done? And then on top of that, it is more than just, I mean, we all are kind of caught up in the midst of the shorts and the reels, basically real quick clips, 15, 30 seconds, 60-second clips. And we're scrolling on TikTok, we're scrolling on Instagram reels, we're scrolling on Facebook reels and stories and all that kind of stuff, real quick hits. And we scroll and we scroll and we scroll. But I don't think, if you've never done it, you don't know what it takes to make a 60-second reel or a 60-second YouTube short or a 60-second Instagram story to make it effective. And actually, it's one of the things my buddy on here, Cyrus Webb, has been helping me with over some time now. And there's a couple of things that I wanted to just say so that, first of all, you don't feel like you're alone, because you're not. Because when it comes down to coming up with content, even for these short little clips to attract in the voiceover clients that you want to attract in, the just coming up with a topic can be hard. Then you have to wonder what to say. And then you have to make sure you're keeping that within a certain time frame. And if you can't do that, then how do you edit it down in video editing software to get it down to a time frame that works How do you add graphics and words on the screen like you see all these 12-year-olds being able to do so masterfully? Add music and then come up with a caption and a title for these things with hashtags that make sense so that it gets found. A 60-second a 60-second short or a reel, as we're going to call it, to attract in voiceover clients in your specific niche can literally take you a minimum, let's just say you do no editing at all. You just hold your phone up, you're perfect on the take, you do it, it's done. Okay, that it might take you 5 minutes. If you don't think about what to actually say in your post, come up with relevant hashtags and all that kind of stuff, you can just shoot it and post it. You're done, but you probably won't get much traction. So you can take as little as 5 minutes to do this. Or if in my case, where you're really trying to do something and you're still not quite doing it right, an hour for a 60-second shot. 1 hour. For every step that I just told you about. So now that I've told you the hard marketing voiceover tip, let's talk about an easy voiceover marketing tip to be able to go in and execute. Now that I just told you, I think a lot of people may think that that would have been simple to do, but in executing on it myself this week in particular, it is not something that's the easiest thing in the world to do. But if you want to get super simple with some of these things, and I'm thinking about Instagram in particular for voiceover artists, right? All it is that you literally want to be able to do is to communicate some sort of concept, right? And when I say some sort of concept, I'm talking about your voice talent. You want to be able to communicate that. And what is the easiest way for you to be able to communicate that? It is to simply get behind your microphone and talk. It is to simply read some sort of script that would be attractive to your audience. You can do that with your DAW, whichever one it is that you're using. And have you ever seen those little graphics that people make? And by the way, if you've got questions for me, now's the time to start putting in your questions around this topic or whatever it is you want to ask me. You ever seen those little graphics and it's got the squiggly lines with like the audio wave patterns going across the screen? You ever seen that? It's just a graphic and you got the wave files, the wave pattern just on the screen going up and down while the person is talking. You can use something. And some of you may know different things to use. I use this platform online called Headliner, okay? Where I just upload an audio file and I upload an image and I make it either 9:16 for like the story format or the short format, or I make it square for just going on Instagram, the wall there. It shouldn't take you more than literally 10 minutes from beginning to end, because all you have to do, record what it is that you want to record, have a nice photo of yourself or something that is meaningful for what it is that you're doing and who it is that you're trying to attract. Open up headliner.com. I believe it's headliner.com. Upload that file, your picture, boom, you're done. Now, all you have to do is type something out as a caption. This is like, be thoughtful about what you're typing out, because if Cyrus sees it, he'll remember it and he'll quote it back to you and ask, why did you write that? That doesn't make any sense. Cyrus will do that to you. He's not still here, is he? I don't think Cyrus. He's not here. All right. But you want to type out something meaningful and you want to use relevant hashtags. So basically 10 minutes to get everything through Headliner, add in another 10 minutes to go ahead and think out something meaningful to write, and you've got 20 minutes max. 20 minutes max. And you'll get better and better at doing this as you go along. And then you'll probably want to go ahead and start doing some of the things that I started off with that weren't so easy. Because here's the truth of the matter, voiceover, I don't care where you're starting, if you're starting at the beginning, if you're somewhere in the middle of your career or a couple months in, couple years in, this we know this is not an easy thing, but nothing is that's an entrepreneurial venture. We see so many different things online trying to talk to us and tell us that you can make $1 million in the next 30 days, in the next 90 days. And if you don't, you get your money back, and all this other kind of bull crap that we hear, and we're inundated with these messages. And so the truth of it does not actually come out. And if we don't understand what the truth actually is, what happens is that if things aren't happening as fast as we believe they ought to happen, then all of a sudden we think we're some sort of failure. All of a sudden we think we're just not right for this. But it's our expectations at this point in the world. I think a lot of people's expectations are really off. They're really off when it comes to what is it going to take to actually build a successful voiceover business, any kind of business, actually. But what is it going to take to actually build a successful voiceover business? So let me tell you this and understand this why, and understand why things are the way that they are. If you just discovered me today, if you just heard the term voiceover today and are thinking about getting into voiceover, right? I know most of you here, you're way beyond that point, but let's just take it from the beginning. You look at a lot of different YouTube videos, but these are the things that people don't do that actually I believe they ought to do. First of all, no one that got into voiceover came into voiceover knowing everything about it. Not one of us. Not one of us. I'm just saying, says, I'm tuning into you for the first time. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you definitely are getting something out of this, Miss Wanda. Definitely appreciate it from one. I'm just saying, Wanda's reviews. Look. All right. So first time in. There are some things that if you want to do anything, I don't care what it is, starting a business is hard. You have to have training in it. Now, the thing that you're doing, you may be very good at, like you may be a natural VO, right? You may be a natural. I don't know many people that are, but you may be a natural at VO, but that's just the talent that you have. That's just the talent that you have. It doesn't mean you understand how to build a business around it. That's why people need to get coaching and training on the things that they do not understand. Now, that coaching and training can come from maybe watching some videos on YouTube or the internet to learn these things. You can go to different sites that have courses on how to do certain things, how to build a business. But let me just tell you, the building the business part is the hardest part of the voiceover thing. But what happens so many times is people will get into voiceover, they'll come up against some obstacles, some challenges, like not understanding how to read a script, not understanding how to operate the digital audio workstation, the DAW, the software you use to record your voice with, because that's a beast in itself to even learn that. And so you're looking at 3, 6, 12 months to just learn the basics. I'm not even kidding. And that's going hard. That's actually going hard at this thing. So when you look at, let's just call it a year, it's going to take you a year to just learn how to do voiceover. Now, within that year, if you don't progress, if you don't up level your skills, if you don't get the appropriate gear and have an appropriate environment to record in, you can forget it. These things are baked in. These things just have to be done. Okay. Now, when it comes to the business development part of this, the business development part of this is probably the hardest part for most people. So how do you get that? How do you get trained on how to actually build the business? How do you get trained on how to get clients? Because there's only a couple of ways to get clients. The most traditional way now that I say traditional, used to be 10 years ago, traditional was different, but today it's what it is. The traditional way now to get work, there are a couple of ways. Either you can go on sites like Fiverr, you can go on sites like Upwork, and put up a profile and people will look for you to hire you. That's mainly how those sites work. Now, on those sites too, especially if I think about Fiverr, will send you information on someone that's looking for pricing or something like that, and they'll have you give them a quote or something like that. Then you have the pay to play sites like voices.com or voice123.com, right? Where you actually join these sites and they're pay to play. And what that means is that you normally have to pay them some money, right? In order to make sure that you're getting auditions, because that's what you do. Audition. You spend your days auditioning for work. That can be mind numbing. Simply auditioning for work, right? But these are the traditional ways. Then you up level from that. You can get an agent if you're good enough for an agent to want to put you on their roster, because you have to be good. You have to have a well defined and well executed, good sounding demo that they can hear and they can put out so that they feel confident recommending you. So that's an up level where you can get an agent to actually look for work and then bring you auditions to audition for, right? And then there's the entrepreneurial way where you are the one actively looking for the work that you want. You're doing things like email marketing, but how do you do email marketing if you don't have email lists? How do you do email marketing if you don't know the person's email address? Again, that's going deeper because you can do it, but then I'd have to talk to you about that too. So there's email marketing and all the stuff that goes behind email marketing, right? There's social media marketing, like on LinkedIn in particular. All of your clients potentially are on LinkedIn that you would want to work with. So you want to make sure you have a good LinkedIn profile with that, because there are strategies to get worked on LinkedIn. There's strategies on running Facebook ads to a very targeted audience in order to bring that work into you, or to at least give people the information that you're there to be able to do the work. So there's all these things that have to be learned by just wanting to start, build, and grow a voiceover business. So when you look at all of these intricacies, and I talk, and when we talk about the super simple voiceover marketing tip, which is just record your voice, go to headliner.com, upload the voice, put the squiggly lines on it, have an image, post that bad boy. That's about as simple as it gets. And if that seems super hard, what do you think the rest of this is? I hope I'm not painting a scary picture, but an honest picture of what being a voice actor is all about, because it is much more than just having a good voice or thinking you have one because your mom told you you did. This is work. This is not, and I hate to just say because this is any entrepreneurial venture. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you want to do, there is a tremendous amount of work that goes behind just getting the work. There's a tremendous amount of work that goes behind marketing. It is not just posting something on social media. It is the planning part of it that takes the most time as well. And then the executing of that thing. So when we're talking about building a voiceover business, this goes deep. Maybe a little bit deeper than you even thought. But here's the thing. It takes time. It takes time. Having a successful voiceover business, everybody throws out the number like 6 figures. I want a 6-figure income. Do you know how hard it is to make 6 figures? Do you know how hard it is and how much work is involved with making 6 figures, not from a 9 to 5 perspective, but from an entrepreneur perspective? Even though I've been able to do this and have the lifestyle that I have, it is not and was not ever easy to accomplish. And if I don't keep up the work that I do every day, I lose it all. That is every entrepreneur that is out there. You do not get to a certain level and coast. You get to a certain level through the exact work that you do every day. And you have to keep up that level of work, because if you don't, you do not keep that level of income. Does this make sense? Is this making sense to anyone out there? What are some of the struggles that you're seeing in your own career right now? What are some of the things that you see? And this is probably a good idea. Like, let me know this. And I want everyone to make sure that you do join www.grindanddon'tquit.com. I want to see you on my AMA tomorrow. I want to see you on my Ask Me Anything tomorrow. I want to see you on Zoom. Okay. And we're going to tackle some of these things as well. World Blessing is saying, that's so true, Earl. I can have the greatest voice, and I do laugh out loud. Awesome. But if no one can find me, I don't get any jobs. 100%. World Blessings again is saying marketing, 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 right? That's what this is all about. Because you can have the greatest voice in the world, but if no one knows you're there, you get no work. And the only way that people know you're there is through marketing. So that means that someone that does not have as much talent as you have, but they have way more talent than you in the marketing arena, guess who wins? Just guess. Yeah, it's the person that understands marketing. I'm just saying, sis, she answered yes to, am I making sense? So thank you for definitely answering that for me. Looks like everybody is over on YouTube today. Tomorrow, which is Saturday, and I already shared with you the website that we have over at grindanddon'tquit.com. I want to make sure that you go over there. I want you to join me there. I want you to join me there because I love seeing you here on Friday, but I definitely will love seeing you in our group at www.grindanddon'tquit.com, where you can come on with me and the rest of the crew on Saturday, and we can actually have a conversation and dive deep into all of these different concepts, right? Edwin is saying, yes, it does. Like a track, we must train every day for the next competition and to win. I'm setting up my space, and learning gear is a challenge, isn't it, though? Not just the part of learning gear is the challenge. Selecting the gear can be a challenge as well. And the reason I think selecting gear is such a challenge is because we are listening to so many different folks talk about gear. You know, this is the best mic. This is the best mic. This is the best audio interface. Can I use my USB mic? No, you can't use a USB mic. You've got to use an XLR mic. There's all these things, and then we pause to buy something because we're not really sure. Let me give you something here when it comes to like selecting gear. If you're lucky enough to have something like a guitar center in your city, um, go there and they'll let you rent and or practice in-house on their gear. Hey, can I use that mic? Can I rent that mic? Can I go in your booth and just hear this microphone with this audio interface? Do some testing. If you're lucky enough to have a place like a guitar center, it's a chain. If you're lucky to have a guitar center in your city, it's something that you can do. Because once you put these headphones on, the headphones start telling you the story. But then even that's a challenge at the beginning, because how do you know what good audio actually sounds like? Because these ears do get developed over time. And you hear things most people don't even pay attention to. Right? So all of these things are challenges in themselves at every stage of the game. Um, Ben is saying he's trying to sign into Headliner right now. Awesome. Actually, let me just see. I think I have that and I can share that on my screen. I believe I have the link. I'm just looking for it in my favorites as opposed to typing it in, but I guess if I just typed it in, it would go a lot better, or go a lot quicker, right? So let's type in headliner. That is not it. So we're going to go to Google and we're gonna look up headliner. And oh, it's headliner.app, and I'll share my screen with you here. So let's stop my screen share and then we can share the screen again and we can share that and then we can go here. All right, so this is headliner, right? This is the screen for headliner and it's headliner. The web address is headliner.app. Go from audio to audience, right? And you see over there on the right side, the squiggly lines, the audio wave file, that's what I mean. That's what I was talking about. And they've got different ones. It's not just that one. They've got a bunch of different ones that you can actually use as well, right? So check that out. Headliner.app. Headliner.app is the web address. They changed the web address. I hadn't been there for a while. Hey Victor, what's up? I'm a student and learning a lot. Awesome. Thank you, Victor. Yeah, Victor's over he's a member of grindanddontquit.com. Yes, you definitely want to do that. Ben, if you don't get in the arena, the crowd can't cheer for you. You got to be the gladiator, right? You got to. Matthew saying, after years worth of voice training, I started out last June, and in the past year, I haven't landed a single GVAA rated paid job. Glad to hear you talk about marketing, doing P2P and email. Awesome. Now, the GVAA is basically the rate card that's out there for voiceover artists to let them know these are standard industry rates for different types of VO work. So if you don't know what the standard rates are, going to GVAA, just Google GVAA, and you'll see what those standard rates are. You're not ready to charge those standard rates if you can't pull off professional voice work. You start at a lower tier. You start at something lower than standard rates. These standard rates are for pro voice actors. Now, does it mean that you're not a pro because you started 2 months ago? No, not if you are a pro at not only laying your voice down, but editing the audio, mastering the audio, processing the audio. And you do that at a pro level, then charge pro rates. But if you're not, if you don't have a proper recording environment and you're not recording with professional gear, no, you shouldn't be charging or trying to charge GVAA rates. All right. What's this? Ben saying, okay, got it. Headliner, thanks. All right, Ben, go get it, man. Go get it. Look, there's so much that we can talk about in regards to marketing and everything else and building a voiceover business. But there's a thing here where, again, this is not easy to do. So if you thought that or think that voiceover is something that anyone can do, it's not. You have to have the talent, one. You have to understand the concepts of audio production, two. You have to understand the concepts of processing audio, three. You have to understand the things you need to know about building a business, from marketing, sales, all those strategies. All of these things together, a good voiceover artist does make. Having any of these not in place makes the whole house of cards fall down. Matthew saying, I was a music engineer before I started, so that isn't a problem. Awesome. Awesome. Voice is somewhat different, obviously, than music, but the concepts are the same in regards to processing and mastering the audio, right? And so, Matthew, I can only imagine you have a different type of ear than most people have as well. So that's a good thing. for people that are just starting out and haven't developed those special ears that we have in regards to hearing things inside of audio. And by the way, if you're going to be a voiceover artist, please have headphones. Spend about $80 minimum on a pair of headphones. That will give you true sound. Because listening to stuff on your computer speakers, don't cut it. Never has, never will. But if you really want to know and understand the ins and outs of sound, we call these things, by the way, cans. Get you some cans. I'm using, what is it, Sennheiser HD Pro something or another. HD 280 Pro from Sennheiser. I've had these puppies for 6 years. Had them for 6 years. Love them to death. Ben is saying, please listen to him. This is not easy. I thought I knew how to read, but reading into a mic makes me anxious. LOL. It can. It definitely can. So much goes into this. And I'd be remiss if I didn't just kind of make it as plain as I possibly can to let you know that it's not easy. Now, the processes are simple, but having the outcomes is not easy. The performing is not easy. What to do and figuring out how to do, those things can be easily shown. It's simple. But when it literally comes down to the execution of these things, it's going to take some work. I'll just put it to you that way. It's definitely going to take some work. So listen. Let's see. Where is it? I don't even know. I'm actually looking for some music. I have no idea what to play. So instead of that, I'll do this. All right. That was kind of cool though, was it? Hey, right on beat. Boom. Hey, well, look, I want to thank you for being with me today. I am here every Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for this podcast that I do, the Steps to Voiceover Success podcast. I want to make sure that you do definitely join us at www.grindanddon'tquit.com so that you can get better at this thing, so that you can dive deeper into this thing and become the voiceover artist that you actually want to be, understanding and knowing the ins and outs of what it's going to take to start, build, and grow a successful voiceover business. My name is Earl Hall, as it says right over here on screen. Thanks for being here with me today. Join www.grindanddon'tquit.com, and I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, live on Zoom. And we can really dive into some stuff and get deep on some of the questions that you may have as well. Thanks for being here. You have a good one.